Are you ready?
Hey peeps, how's it going? Now, I am recording this on Tuesday, and I really wanted to upload it on Tuesday, but I think I'm going to hold off until Wednesday since I already uploaded 2 videos today. I really don't want to overdo it, but I'm having fun doing it, so hopefully you guys are as well. But let's talk some NBA Finals here, and I'm going to connect it to the Pistons. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, Nick Nurse is a moron. He single-handedly cost the Raptors the NBA Finals. There was a time in the game the Raptors made this incredible run in the second half to take the lead eventually. They trailed most of the game, if not all of it. And they fought, they never gave up, and they came back, took the lead. Golden State was taking a lot of bad shots. A lot of them. Excuse me. They were just chucking up threes. Draymond Green, Iguodala, and Curry, for the most part, settled. I mean, there was at times 20 to 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and they're taking bad contested threes while Toronto worked it down low, ran the fast break, and got easy buckets, and they took the lead. It was incredible. Huge momentum for it, and with about 3 minutes or so, roughly, in the game, they started surging. They first forced a turnover, and were pushing it up court, and Nick Nurse called a timeout. Now, I was so confused live. I thought there was a foul or something. You don't call timeout when you have the momentum. That's something the other team does to try to slow down the other team. Well, guess what, Nick? You slow down your own team and cost yourself a shot to win the finals in Toronto. And a lot of people are blaming Kyle Lowry for missing the shot, which was blocked. But regardless, it shouldn't even come down to that. You cost yourself. I mean, I'm not saying that for sure Toronto would have won if they didn't call the timeout. I'm not saying Golden State would have lost or anything like that, but I'm giving that a 70% fault right there, man. You don't do that, and that's a rookie coach mistake. You do not do that. Dwane Casey was a veteran. He could have done something better in that situation. That's just crazy, man. You don't do that. You don't. It's crazy. It baffled me. I could not believe he called a timeout. I'm like, he did not just call a timeout. I'm like, did Steve Kerr call a timeout? Because if so, they don't have a ball. That's going to be a tackle or something. No, Nick Nurse called the timeout. It's wild. It's bad coaching. It really is. And, I would have been heated if I was a Toronto fan. I really would have been. But unfortunately, I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. And Dwane Casey was wrongfully fired from Toronto. And I've said this many occasions, but I've never done a video covering it. Now, Toronto would be in the exact same predicament with Dwane Casey given Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is on a whole different level than DeMar DeRozan. It's not even close. Kawhi Leonard might be the best two-way player I have ever seen in my life. And I've seen some defenders who were better, and obviously some offensive players that were better. But a person who does so well at both sides of the ball at the same time, I don't know if I've seen a better player than that. So that's just the level. I mean, he's in the conversation for best player in the world right now. So put some respect on Kawhi Leonard. I mean, this guy got Toronto over the hump. But Dwane Casey would have had a field day with this guy. Look at what Dwane Casey did. He built all those young players. He developed them. He helped them unlock the potential and really show them how to unlock what they were supposed to do. And, Nick Nurse, he never really adjusted to how the Pistons played against them. You could see it in the 3 matchups this year that Dwane Casey knew that team inside and out, and Nick Nurse didn't know how to stop Dwane Casey. I mean, I believe it was the first time we played Toronto. We were down 20-25 going into halftime or something like that. In the second quarter or the second half, we made this huge run and come back because we knew what they were doing. We knew how to stop them. Nick Nurse, I don't even know how good he is because it's really Dwane Casey's team with a better player, a much upgraded player over DeMar DeRozan. So I don't even know how to judge Nick Nurse because I don't know how good he is. Dwane Casey got there when Toronto was not good. He made them what they are. He made them a top team in the East. He made all these jabronis that you would never thought of anything. He turned them into something. He helped them. And it goes both ways. You got to have the players who want to unlock it, but you got to have the coach to push them, and he does it. You know, he's a really player-friendly coach, and that goes a long way in the NBA. Right now, that's how the NBA works. You got to have a player-friendly coach, or it won't work. He helped develop all these second-round talents. He turned Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan into all-stars and really made them a top 3 team in the East for such a long time. And then they fired him and trade away their best player for a much-needed improvement, Kawhi Leonard. I don't think they should have fired Dwane Casey. Raptors fans, if you're watching, should they have? I don't know how you guys are feeling from it, but as a Pistons fan, I am beyond grateful to have Dwane Casey here to help try to. I don't want to say recreate what he did in Toronto because he's got a different format. You know, the Pistons got a traditional 2 big men. Toronto obviously didn't have that. Toronto's big men shoot a lot of threes, and that's just not going to be in our arsenal. You know, Blake Griffin can. He shot the ball very well. Andre is never going to shoot more than 1 a game. And I don't want to say never because it's very unpredictable, but it's very unlikely. But I just can't get over the timeout. Like I said, man, that's a rookie coach move, and it's unacceptable, unexcusable. There is that's going to go in time, and I do believe as a big mistake. Now, I don't know if it's going to be as big as the Chris Webber timeout because obviously that is probably going to be the biggest mistake in a sports game for a very long time, and it just changed the mood. It changed the momentum. You had everything going your way. Kawhi Leonard got his takeover badge, Hall of Fame going on. He could not miss, and you screwed it all up. You screwed it all up. So I blame mostly Nick Nurse. You can't give Golden State second chances. If you give Golden State second chances, they're going to beat you 9 times out of 10, and it's not going to be pretty. And you know what? They gave him second chance after second chance. You had him down for the 10 count, and you call it a timeout. Man, you can't win games like that. I mean, people want to say coaching is not important in basketball or, you know, especially baseball, but coaches are what motivate players and develop the game plan. Coaches are important. They might not be as important in basketball or baseball as they are in football, but they are important. And if you say they aren't important, you are dumb. And you need to rethink your life because they are very important. You got to have someone who knows what they're doing at all times. The thing that makes Bill Belichick and Pop the greatest coaches of their respected franchises and their sports is they're ready for any given situation at any moment. If 2 minutes is on the drill and you got the final 2 minutes in the game, they know what they want to run. They know when they're going to use their timeouts. They know how they want to set up defensively, how they want to run their offense. I mean, it's like clockwork. I mean, they're just like clicking, you know. And when you have a rookie coach in the NBA Finals against Steve Kerr, now Steve Kerr has been the Warriors coach for what, 4 or 5 years now? He's been in front office situations for multiple years. He was helping run Phoenix when Phoenix had Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. He was over there. So, I mean, he's been involved in the game for a long time. Not to mention he's been around a championship team with Chicago and learning from the greatest player of all time and how Phil Jackson wanted to incorporate everything. So Steve Kerr's had a lot more experience. And I was surprised that the Warriors have been falling down. Now they're down 3-2. I'm surprised by this. Unfortunately, Kevin Durant looks like he tore his Achilles. He's going to be out probably for a little bit of next season. That is going to be a tough one to come back from. I'll talk about that here in a second. But, man, experience and coaching goes a long way. And that's why I'm just thrilled to have Dwane Casey over Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse has got a lot of learning to do. Not saying Nick Nurse can't transform into a good coach. He might already be a good coach. But that was just a rookie mistake. Rookie people doing rookie stuff, and it's going to cost his team. So now you have to go back to the Bay and play the Warriors there in their last ever home game in that arena. You think it's going to be a little bit crazy there? Yeah. You probably aren't going to win that one. More than likely. Not saying that you can't. You did go there and win 2 games before, but man, that is going to be tough to win 3 games in Golden State. If you do that, I'll tip my hat off to you, man. I'll shake your hand, say I was wrong, but it's not very likely. Golden State's banged up. You had every opportunity to shut them down and close them out the other night, and you didn't do it. You can't give this team second chances. You can't show mercy. You can't call timeout. You got to have that killer instinct and kill them while they're down, or you're never going to win. It's impossible. That's just basics for sports. You can't show mercy. Unless you're up 50-0, you can't really show mercy because these guys, no matter if they're all-stars or not, are professionals. They don't want to get embarrassed. They don't want to lose 4 games to 1. Now it's 3-2. It's a little bit more respectable. They're almost giving Golden State like 3 lives. Like, oh, you still got another life. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Golden State's legacy has been surrounded by 3-1. Blowing 3-1s, coming back from 3-1s. It's kind of crazy. A little scripted to me, but it is what it is. But before we end the video, Kevin Durant, let me talk about that for a second. That is crazy. If you did not see it, the image is everywhere. I guess I'll say a video of just his calf exploding from the pressure he put on it. You rushed arguably the best player in the world. It's between him and LeBron still. You rushed him back because you can't beat Toronto. That's on the training staff, man. If you're not 100%, and that's a serious injury, it's not like, you know, he had cramps or a sprain. I mean, Achilles, they call it the Achilles heel because it is the weakest spot in your body. And when you tear it, it is the hardest to come back for. Look at DeMarcus Cousins. He's playing well, but it's not the DeMarcus Cousins that we know. Sometimes it might take 2 to 3 years for you to even get the confidence back to fully use it. It is way harder to come back from an Achilles injury than an ACL injury. So I hope he's going to be all right. But that's a serious injury and not needed, man. Not needed. It just shows you that he wanted to shush everybody up. I am not his burner account, though. He wanted to play, man. You got to respect that. Even though he did join a 73-9 team, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hope he's going to be all right. Because for the NBA's sake, ticket-wise, merchandising-wise, you want your best players to play. And as a guy who wants to see competition, I want to see these players go to different teams and not form super teams. I want to see them stick with the team so that way there's a legit like 10 teams in the title contention, you know? I want the Pistons to be able to go out there and perform and compete against these guys and eventually beat them. I don't want to see them get hurt and, you know, someone just walk over the competitions. It's not fun that way. So prayers up to KD. Hopefully he's all right. But that's all I got for you guys, man. That's all I got for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave all your comments, thoughts, concerns in the comment section below. Upload treat continues. Instagram, Twitter links in the description. With all DSA members, be sure to check all the fellers out. Subscribe to them. Pistons Center Court this week on Troxel's channel. And then next week is going to be on Thursday. We are going live during the NBA draft. We have some special guests coming out. That will also be on Troxel's channel. So be sure to subscribe to him. Hit the notification bell on his channel so you do not miss a single Pistons Center Court episode, series, whatever you want to call it. That's all I got for you guys. So hopefully you guys have a good day. And I'll see you peeps in the next one. Peace.